somehow I couldn't get my thing started. This is the only day that I got behind with my stuff.
No problem. I actually just finished this up a few minutes ago.
So I have a question for you. How did you do it says the user should be able to enter one of the supplier's name into the input cell.
So I did that one where I just had it. So like right here, that's my input cell.
Mm-hmm.
And when they put that in, I have over here, I have the supplier summary, and I have a if statement that if this supplier box matches the summary sheet input box,
Uh-huh.
then it puts a 1, and if it does not, it just does nothing.
Uh-huh.
And so then it will put, blanks in if there's not, and if it is the supplier, it'll put a 1, and so that gets me
Mm-hmm.
my number. And then for the average material cost and standard deviation, I just had it do another if statement where it was if the supplier for summary was 1,
Mm-hmm.
then it would put its material cost. And I just had it repeat that so that if they change the 1, if they change the supplier name, it'll switch this column right here, and that will switch
So
this
how did
column.
Okay, so then when they change the supplier's name, that goes with what you
This
call it? Sorry, because probably because I got headache, earache all at once. That's why I couldn't grasp this
no problem. So
simple thing. So so when you go to your summary and let's say they change the name.
yeah, so I'm just gonna copy one of these names because I don't remember them. So I'll just copy that name, and then I'll just paste it in this box.
Uh-huh.
And see, it changes everything. And if I go back to the data, this row is set up so that everything in this row will change because it checks this box up here
Uh-huh.
for the name, and if that box matches this box,
Mm-hmm.
it will put a 1. Then this
Okay.
row is set up so that if there is a 1 in this box right here will put in the material cost.
Okay.
And if it doesn't, it'll just do nothing. And that way, I have the summary page, I have the average material cost and standard deviation set to do the
Mm-hmm.
average for this whole row. And so
Mm-hmm.
if the boxes shift, it'll just reshift to the new
New information.
totals. Yeah,
Uh-huh.
exactly. And
Okay.
so that's how I set up those.
No.
Makes it really
Okay.
easy. Like, it was sort of a pain to have to do the different rows,
Uh-huh.
but it made it so it's really easy when they look at the summary to just type something in and it changes everything automatically.
Okay. Okay, yeah. I just get I guess I just have this is the only first time I got behind with this one. I usually finish it before a meeting. But
Yeah, no problem.
I've been having, I have fever, headache, and earache, and so I think it's my sinus infection getting worse. So yeah. So anyways, hey, thanks for explaining that. And I thought Hammond will be joining in also, and Arlie.
No problem. I'm just going through and making mine a little cleaner, even though he said it doesn't really matter for the
Uh-huh.
data sheet. Figure I'll try.
Well,
And then I added an extra thing because he said to do a input where you could do a price and it would have the items over that price. And
uh-huh.
I did two different ones where this is to do items over, and then next to it I did an items under.
Uh-huh.
And yeah, they're just set up the same way. And
Okay.
there's my little chart for the lead time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, I think it was just I'm just not feeling well enough to. I don't know. I did the exam. I did everything. I have no problem. And then this one, I'm just like, next time I have to ask question to our instructor, so just to clarify certain things. But this one, I just like, why I cannot start this one?
Yeah, and like if you do get stuck on something, you can always, shoot me an email or something. And
Okay.
yeah. Yeah, I'd actually, these mini projects usually don't take me too long, and this one,
Uh-huh.
it took me about 45 minutes to actually get through it.
Uh-huh.
So
Yeah, well, the new information we've learned, it is very interesting. You just want
I,
to make sure that you got the if correctly.
yeah, I was actually super excited when I learned about this because I was like, this is like
Uh-huh.
completely game changing where it opens up so much stuff you can do with Excel that
Yeah.
I've even had people ask me, and I'm like, no, I don't think there's any way to do that.
Yeah, it is now you know how much, well, I know Excel, but not as in depth as this class is, you know.
Yeah.
And that's why I'm just like, dang, if I should know, if I have taken this a few semester earlier, I could have probably got the job. But and sometimes it's not really the case anyway up here in a small town, is they always already have somebody in line to fill in the position, a relative or a friend, and they just advertise it for the sake of legality. So
Yeah.
yeah, so yeah, it is very interesting. I like the fact that it's exploring more things that I have not ventured before in Excel. And on my data file, actually, I rearranged the order so it's easier, according to their alphabetically arranged supplier.
Oh yeah, doing the filter and sort.
Uh-huh. Yeah, I did that so it will be easier for me to do the other program thing.
I thought about doing that, and then I was like if they were asking for other data, but where
Uh-huh.
they're just wanting it on the summary page,
Uh-huh.
I was like, I could always go back later and highlight it and sort it,
Yeah.
but for this, it, you know,
Yeah. Yeah, I just like it's easier for me probably because also I got headache and not easy to stare at the spreadsheet. Yeah. And I just like, no, not a bad timing again, because we have, I think we have another exam for this next week. And then I have exam in my statistics and economics. And I'm just like, oh no, getting sick before that, it's not fun. So,
yeah, this has been an actually easier week for me because uh, school's out for the local school district, and I drive a school bus.
oh, you guys have a fall break?
Yeah, it's the Spud Harvest. So
Oh, so how many weeks? 1 week or two?
it's a week and a day. So we got
Oh, okay.
last Friday and all of this week.
Yeah, my husband and my son, they'll be off next week. So
Oh, for fall break.
yes, and they wanted to go to this San Diego Zoo, and just like, seriously, you guys have a break, I don't. And so I'm wondering if we can do the meeting like Tuesday night.
Okay. Yeah, I can do that next week.
Yeah, because I just wanna. They just like, when I was doing the exam, I'm just like, oh, they're pretty much doing it, and my My husband, you're not done yet. You have to do research on this exam. You can't do just put numbers in there without doing research.
Yeah, and it's one of those things. I guess for this class, it'll probably be pretty easy to coordinate because it's basically just you and me most weeks.
Yeah. Every week, and I send them. I say, they said okay, 8 o'clock Mountain Standard Time, and then I send them the link on Google Hangout and also via email, and it's 7:13. They're still not in here.
Yeah, apparently Scott sent out an email at 8:02, and he said I'm still working. I
Okay.
might be on in a few minutes, but I guess
Okay, just yeah.
yeah, because this is sort of all we have to talk about. So now we can get the recording and
But if they're not in the recording, then they get 0 points. I don't know if we're being graded on as a group.
yeah, well, I don't even know how they're checking that. If he actually watches every video or what.
I think they do.
Yeah. I
Yeah,
guess
'cause,
that's just more reason they should show up.
yeah, because in my other class, our instructor said, you just don't show up on the meeting. You have to talk about. You need to participate.
Yeah.
I do watch all the videos. I was just like, oops. Well, I always participate anyway, and I have another meeting at 8 o'clock our time, which is 9 o'clock your time, for my other class. So
None of my I'm taking all online classes, and this is the only one I've had to do group meetings with, which is weird because normally all of my online classes have online group meetings.
what classes are you taking again?
I'm taking a web development class,
Yeah.
intro to computer programming, or not computer programming. So there's website development, and then website design. They're both business. They're like if you were to run your own business, teaching you the basics of what it would take to. One of them is to design your own website for a business, and the other one is to actually program that website.
Oh, wow.
It's a lot harder than I thought.
What's your emphasis again?
Finance, but I'm trying to
Is
get
that
into
your what you call it, elective?
one of them is. But
I have to take one of those. I'll be in trouble.
I think it's one of those cluster options.
Oh, I was not given a cluster option.
I think it might be because you are an online student, and I am technically an on-campus student who is taking online classes.
Oh, okay.
So there is a difference between them, just because there's some classes that I have to take or had to take on campus that you don't have to take, or they have a different class for the online.
Yeah, because when I was when I changed to finance, and I was going through, it says there in order for you to graduate, you have to have a cluster and all this. And so I emailed the person in charge. And I said, you don't need to worry about clusters because you're online student.
Yeah.
And then I realized, and I was talking to other friends of mine who's taking online classes also. They said, oh yeah, I want to do this for my cluster. And just like, I was not allowed to do cluster.
Yeah, it's like that also might be depending on what catalog year you're in.
Okay.
Because I know like people who are starting now have different classes for the same major. So
Okay, because I started. This is my first semester of my second year.
Okay.
So I did the other. Yeah, probably they're in a different catalog, so that's why. But I don't. So.
Yeah, I'm just excited to be getting closer. I figured
Mhm.
out I'll still sadly be a junior after this semester
Uh-huh.
because you're considered a senior when you have 90 credits.
Uh-huh.
And after this semester, I'll be at 89 credits.
Oh, shoot. Just one credit short.
Yep.
Yeah. Let me see. Somebody send a.
Yeah, it's early. Sorry, I'm running a little late. My internet isn't working. I'll try as soon as I get this fixed.
Okay. They're both late, so we'll hang out in a. No, I'm good. I'm good for now. How long is this, Karate?
Only 30 minutes.
Okay. It's late for my. Hey, Chris, you're changing right where they can see you. But
Hi, Chris.
I wasn't even paying attention when I look at my.
You got the camera on?
Oh yeah. Yeah. I have to post this on the website.
Oh, well, tell me if you have a camera. Okay.
You should have said something.
that.
Yeah, I think I have to edit it before I post it.
I was
What'd
like,
you say?
if you know how to edit.
Yeah. I was just like, seriously? And I just realized that when I look on my screen, I just like, whoa, he's getting dressed right in front of my camera.
Well, Mom.
Sorry about that.
Mom, you failed to mention it. Mom, you failed to mention it.
No, you
failed to mention it.
Yeah, go away. Go away and turn on the fan. I'm hot right now. Go, go. And yeah, I didn't know that you suddenly just walk in here. You guys kicked me out of the living room, dining room, so I have to go through before I give you the link.
That's so funny.
And I was looking at him because I usually angle my camera, but I just like I just saw him changing in my camera, my screen here.
Yeah, see, I usually just do the screen share because my house is trashed. So
Hey,
just
it's
do
okay.
the
Yeah.
screen share and suddenly clean.
Yeah. Hey, we have to do that. I have laundry to fold down there. It's down on the floor.
Yeah, I was
But
like,
I
that's
couldn't do it today.
life with a 10-month-old.
Oh, wait until you have more.
But see,
I
yours
only
are where
have
they can clean up after themselves, right?
Yeah, I only have two, my husband and my son. And when we had the three foster kids here, are just like, oh gosh, what am I thinking? It's never stop cleaning, and then you have to take online classes, and none of those kids, at least here with my son, you hey, you go read your script, you do your homework, and I do mine, and he can do it now on his own. He's 10 years old. But when he was little, I always work with him with his homework and stuff. But now he can do it by himself. Unless he has questions, then I'll help him out. So he's pretty independent. He can do his own playtime and all that, practice piano. But with those three kids, you can't constantly watching, making sure they're not burning the house or anything else. It's sad too that we have to give them back, but it's for the best of the family. So they're all emotionally unstable.
Mm,
So
that's hard.
yeah, it's hard, especially young children. And but drugs have done so many damages in those three children. So they're all siblings, same family, same mother and father, but all of them are drug babies.
Wow.
Yeah. The little one is 3 years old when we got them. We had them for about 9 months. I potty trained her. She's still on diaper when we got her. Just like I'm not dealing with diaper.
See, my aunt had a foster child that lived with her,
Hmm.
but it was from the time she was 3 till the
Hmm.
time she was 15.
They were. She was not adopted then, huh?
No, the mom was like very adamantly did not want her child adopted by someone else. And then when she was 15, the mom raised a big deal about wanting her back, and they took her to court because the daughter didn't want to go and they didn't want to send her, but
Yeah. Yeah. These
ended
kids
up,
are.
yeah.
Yeah. The children were taken away, and the rights of the parents are completely um um what do you call it? It was taken away from the parents. They don't have any rights anymore with these children. Their parental rights was dissolved. I mean, removed because of they've been given a lot of chances to to straighten up, but they did not do that. And so, but I just like no, I can't do this with my son. And we're planning to adopt them, but it ended up, too much individual needs attention. I mean, one-on-one attention, and you cannot give that if you have four.
Yeah.
You give them attention enough to teach, other, the regular attention you give if you have a lot of kids. But if they're not mentally and emotionally all there, it's difficult.
Yeah,
The
and
other
they've,
one,
had stuff going on in their lives before. They need that much more.
uh and the other one is hurting himself, making himself sick just to get an attention. I said, I'm giving you attention, but not that way. And hearing voices, and the other one's trying to kill my son. Let's cut David's heads off, and that's my oldest son. And I just like, no, we can't do this. Constantly, you fear for their safety and your own safety. You can't sleep through the night because wondering the other kid will be up early, wandering around while you're asleep. Yeah,
Yeah.
poor kids, but we have to cannot put our son into that traumatic thing. Oh, those two are getting late, really late.
Yeah. I think if they're not on in the next few minutes, we should just call it because.
Yeah. Mhm. And you answer my question anyway. So, and I don't know with them, uh, it's and that will give me time to edit the video. Just my husband is so silly.
Oh, there's Arlie.
Hi there. How's work? I think you're. Are you muted?
I can't hear. No. Say something. No.
No. Okay.
Okay, I'm here.
Oh, there you go.
Now we can hear you.
Hi, can you guys hear me now?
Yes.
Yep.
I use my phone. I don't know what's happening.
Do you have any question, Arlie? I think she's frozen.
Yeah, looks like it. Did you have any questions, Arlie? Oh, I thought she was unfrozen.
Oh, there you go. Do you have any question, Arlie? She's having technical.
I feel like
You're cutting in and out.
I yeah.
I can't make out what she's saying.
Can you type it on the chat box and see so we can? You're cutting in and out.
Sheet.
Sweet, my update finally finished installing on my iPhone. That only took forever.
I was installing a printer for our Relief Society president yesterday. I just like it takes forever to get the last part. It takes forever. So the printer is installed, but there's another part of the thing that it's installing. So I ejected the disk, and now it has an error message coming up. And just like, I'll just do it when you get back in town. I'll reinstall it and skip that part because it's just she's an elderly lady and she just doesn't need other stuff in her computer.
Yeah, my mother-in-law has been wanting to get a new computer, and I keep telling her, like, get one and let me help you pick it, because the computer she's got is about 12, 13 years old.
Uh-huh.
And it was, a Walmart computer when they got it.
Uh-huh.
And she's like, well, can't I just upgrade it? And I'm like, there's so much to upgrade. It'd be cheaper to just buy new.
Yeah. She finally got a new a laptop, because she always get into the back room where it gets colder during winter. And so her son got her a new laptop. Another member of our ward programmed that one. But the Microsoft Word that was installed she installed into her computer, it doesn't last long. And so her son purchased her a new one and asked me to install it for her. And so I have to create a Microsoft account, because right now you search the download thing, even though you have the product key, it will not give you anything online when you search a download for this particular program. No, you have to create an account, and they finally give me the little green box to download it. I just like, they're very wise now that you cannot just easily download anywhere,
Yeah.
So that I did that, and installing her printer at the same time, connecting her new laptop into the wireless printer. So
Yeah, I had a friend from work, a friend that I worked with, call me up frantically saying he had so many issues that he needed me to come over and help him with all his computer stuff. And I get over there, and it was like I plugged in his speakers and plugged in his printer, and he's like, that was all. I was like,
yeah.
you could have done that yourself.
Well, some people are not very tech savvy. My mother-in-law always messed up their computer, and my son had his black belt testing last Saturday, and he finally got it. And so my brother-in-law has to wake up early, even though he went to bed late at 3 o'clock in the morning, just cleaning up their computer, their parents' computer.
Wow.
Yeah. And then they have to get up early and drive about an hour 45 minutes to get here. And then I said, I'm really tired after the thing. I said, well, go take a nap. See, if he didn't take a nap, it will be not easy for him to drive back down.
Yeah.
So, Harley, are you there?
Yeah.
Oh, good. Finally, we can hear you.
I was there, but then it got really quiet, and I'm like, what's going on? Can they hear me? So then I had to exit out, and I'm coming back in, and now, sorry.
Yeah, your connection is probably something wrong with your connection. You're like a robot.
Yeah, I don't.
But it's better than earlier. So do you have any question?
I don't even know where to start. I'm looking at the video and I'm looking at the instructions, and like it says to create a summary sheet, feel free to add columns of calculations.
Mm-hmm.
The user should deliver to enter one of the supplier names into the input cell.
Yeah, I was completely not myself today. I'm not feeling, I'm under the weather right now. So this is the
Oh.
first time that I went on a meeting without my mini project done. So
Oh, okay.
don't worry about it. So maybe you can ask and then he'll explain it because he's done.
Oh, he's awesome. Oh, wow. Okay, so good. Okay, so we do have our own cells with either the theta power, gamma rho, or delta p. Okay. The average and standard deviation.
Oh, what did I do that for?
Doyle, Doyle, how were you at the suppliers? Did you do the filter?
The filter. You don't need to do the filter. Like if you want to make it easier for yourself, that's fine. I didn't use it. I went in on the data sheet and I've added all these extra rows from I to T. And
Okay.
so the first row I added was I just put supplier for summary. And I just put in a formula of if this box over here where it says supplier,
Mm-hmm.
if that box equals this box, which is my input box, then put in a 1. And if not, I did the double quotations to leave it blank. And then I just and I made sure to fix the point on my summary sheet to anchor it. And then I just dropped it down, and that way it would just show up as a 1. And then I just put in for the that box not blue. That one is supposed to be. Sorry. And then for this one, it just counts all the boxes in that, just all the boxes in that row, and adds them up for the number of items. And then I made a second row that says if the box next to it, the supplier one, if that equals 1, then put in the material cost, and if not, leave it blank. And then I drop that down. So that way, if they change the supplier name, it'll change the numbers provided and the average material cost and the standard deviation.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay. I'll do that.
So you didn't do the part side for as what it asked for, right? Part number. How many items are provided by the chosen supplier? Hey, come on. What happened? Oops. Oh, okay. Got it wrong. Got it wrong. Oops. Oh, ay, ay, ay. Okay.
Well, do we want to hurry and wrap this up? Because I know I need to get the web or the recording link from you before
Uh-huh.
we end tonight, and then I've got to, get to bed and do stuff with.
Harley, do you have any more question?
Well, I'll figure it out. I've got the gist of it, so I'll continue to work on this.
You send us an
Yes,
email or
Yeah, I'll be awake for a while, so if you want to send an email, that's fine. I just know that Marie's got another class
at
meeting
8 o'clock.
tonight. Yeah,
Mhm.
and she said she wants to edit the video, so leave some time for that.
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, we're on I'll be on also until later working on this one. I wasn't feeling well all day long and have to pump myself with Advil.
Yeah, and I think I put my phone number on the group email,
Uh-huh.
so you can always, text or call if you have any other questions.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay then. Have a good
Awesome.
night, guys.
All right. Good night,
You too.
guys. Text me if anything.